Hey guys, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. It is episode number 12 of the Leeds United career mode. 10 games to go. It's ridiculous. 3 points separating Spurs to Manchester City, first to fifth. We are in fourth with 59 points, but with games in hand and games extra, I mean, at the most, just a mess, basically. It's so tight right now, you can't really predict how the end of the season's going to go. Are Leeds going to pull off a Leicester City and win the Championship like the Foxes did back in 2016? Are we going to secure and wrap up a Champions League place and finish in the top four? Are we going to drop out of it? Are we going to win the FA Cup? We've got the semi to come against Arsenal. It's ridiculous. So much drama. And we started off with a goalless draw. Yep, not the start we wanted. 0-0 against Wolves. Both teams hitting the bar in the game there. And as you'll see, that means we drop down to fifth. Man City also have a game in hand as well. Though we've got a game in hand on Liverpool in second. It's ridiculously tight. I said this in the last episode. This might well be the greatest title race I've ever had. I mean, 5 teams separated by a handful of points with just a few games to go. It is absolutely ridiculous. Question is, can we hold our nerve? Well, not looking likely, is it? Yep, following game, Luton Town. Basically already relegated. 27 minutes in, Carlton Morris says, screw you, Leeds United. 1-0, the Hatters in front. I was thinking, are you serious? 0-0 draw at home to Wolves, and now we're a goal down to basically already relegated Luton Town. Are you serious? Second half begins, booed off the pitch by the home fans, and rightfully so. I fired the boys up in the dressing room. Half time, I said, come on, we can't lose this game. 5 minutes after the restart, we're back on level terms. Benjamin Sesko's 21st of the year going for the golden boot. And then once again soon afterwards, he's sent through and bang! Beats Matt Macy with a far post finish to get his second of the game. Boxing the corner flag, Tim Cahill style, and 2 goals in 6 minutes from our top scorer sees us complete the turnaround. Yep, that cliche, football is a game of 2 halves. Done nothing in the first half, but in the second half went at Luton like a pack of wolves, and they did not know how to defend. 10 minutes later, we extended our lead to 2. Dan James rounds Matt Macy, pops it into the open goal, Leeds back to winning ways, and Lord knows we needed that. Final score 3-1 at Ellen Road, and I would be fuming. Now, we lost that game there. That would have been the start of a capitulation. Instead, we turned it around to get the win. Unfortunately, we're still in 5th. 4 points separating us and Manchester City. We're behind Liverpool in 4th on goal difference, but we do have the game in hand. Even West Ham, right below us right now, still have an outside shot of throwing our hat into the ring. Not just for a top 4 place, but for a title race as well. It's so tight right now. And at the moment, it's anyone's guess as to who's going to get the silverware and play in Europe's grand elite competition for next year as well. So, following game, dress rehearsal for the FA Cup semi-final, but also a massive game for both teams here. Arsenal away in North London, and Benjamin Sesko has done it again. How many bicycle or acrobatic kicks has this guy scored this season? It is ludicrous. He's done it once again. And I'd say this is the goal of the season. It has been an amazing season for goals as well. Team goals and individual efforts, screamers from range and acrobatic flicks. Take your pick. But this is the best of the season, I think. Benjamin Sesko back to goal, 12 yards on the penalty spot, chests it up in the air, and then overhead kicks it past Matt Turner and into the top corner for goal number 23. This guy can literally do anything. It is Arsenal 0, Leeds 1, and with the Gunners knowing they've got a very slim chance of making the Champions League, but realistically a Conference League or Europa League spot, they needed to win in the dress rehearsal for the Wembley meeting between the two. Instead, we put the sword to them. Dan James scored our second soon afterwards after turning in his own rebound, and then with 5 minutes to go, he has got to be the best headerer of a ball I have had in this year's FIFA CM. I can't think of anyone that comes close to it. Maybe Postman Pat, possibly, in the Docks to Glory save. But if we're talking real players here, he's outright, in my opinion, is the greatest. And I've only had 1 year with him. Benjamin Sesko heads in a corner. He just simply does not lose aerial duels. Heads in to make it 3. And a massive win in North London as they keep the pressure on the boys in the top 4. Following game, we're away on the south coast. St Mary's taken on Southampton, and 8 minutes in, well, he just further proves my point. Corner whipped into the middle. And it's ridiculous because I want to show you the replay for this goal as well. Like I don't know how you can stop this guy in the air. I really can't, because Like, the deliveries are really basic. They're floated in, and they're quite basic deliveries. You know, not teasing, not testing, not awkward for the goalkeeper. He stays on his line, but Sesko just needs to stand still. He's like a tree. Just stand still in the middle, mate. You're 6'4". I see you there. I'll float it towards your head. Stand still, and when the time comes, jump, and you'll win the aerial duel because he's not just tall, but he's strong with a good vertical as well. So that's why he just can't be stopped. I mean, like I said, the deliveries, they're not sensational. They're not Dimitri Payet, Juninho-esque set-piece deliveries. They're actually very basic. They just floated into him, but he just can't be stopped. And yeah, he's that strong, he's that big, he's that tall. He gets another, and Dan James gets 1-2 in the second half as well. These two this season have been unbelievable. 2-0 away at St Mary's, and we edge ever closer to a Champions League place, but we need to keep it going. You know that saying, consistency is king. We simply cannot afford slip-ups between now and the end of the season if we are to be in the Champions League next year and possibly win the title. That's fine with me, because if we keep getting corners, we'll keep getting goals. Following game, Leicester City at the King Power, the team who we're trying to channel our inner foxes against here and win the title like they did back in 2016. Very few chances in this game here. We got ourselves a corner, and that means we get ourselves a goal. Once again, basic delivery. Benjamin, I'll see you on the 6-yard line. I'll aim for you. I get it right. I find him in the middle, and Sesko heads into the top corner. The dude is unstoppable. Leicester 0, Leeds 1. Third straight clean sheet, and a big win there against the Foxes as we keep ourselves in the race for the title. The domestic double dream is still alive, but it may well go in the following game, or we may take one giant step towards it. Our following match, perhaps the biggest of the save so far. We travel to the capital for the first time in the save. Well, not the first time traveling to the capital, but the first time we travel to Wembley in the save, because we're in the FA Cup semi-final, and I made a big call. Taking on the Gunners, the hero of the previous rounds, Jorginho Ritter. The comeback against Everton. The dude has been my top scorer in the cup. I left him on the bench. Benjamin Sesko has been undroppable. It was a huge goal, guys. It was a huge goal. But I opted to go for Sesko over Ritter. We all know it. Like, managers often have a dilemma when they've got a cup goalkeeper and then they reach a semi or a final. Do they go with their regular starter and drop the cup goalkeeper to the bench, even though he's been doing the job to get them to where they are in either the semi or the final, but they want the first team quality of their best goalkeeper, or do they stick with the backup? Well, for this game here, I thought I can't drop Sesko. I really can't. And after we fell behind by Jorginho, Benjamin got one chance. 6 minutes to go. 1-on-1 and rounds Matt Turner. And the decision paid off. I got one chance with Sesko in the game, and he took it. Sent through 1-on-1. The American closes him down, but Benjamin rounds him and forces extra time. Leeds 1, Arsenal 1, an extra 30 minutes at Wembley in a really cagey affair. And 7 minutes into the extra time period, he scored the opening goal in the semi. He scores the third and the second for Arsenal. This is what the Arsenal fans were hoping they would have got in real life when they signed him from Chelsea. Jorginho, the former Chelsea and Napoli man, fires in his second, and that was how the game would finish. Yep, didn't really get many chances in the game, and a Jorginho brace at his old age jumps us out of the cup in the semi. But I said to the boys in the dressing room, don't worry about it. Why is that? Because we're 4 points behind Man City who are top, and we're 2 clear of Liverpool with a game in hand on the Reds as well. 5 games to go. We could still win the Premier League, lads. Alright, heads up. Heads up. I was doing my Mourinho impression. Heads up. Lift your chins up. Lift your chins up. Get your heads up, guys. 5 games to go. We win them all. We might win the title, but we'll definitely guarantee a Champions League spot. Heads up. We meet Liverpool in the very next game. Don't feel sorry for yourselves. Bounce back. Yes, we won't win the cup. We could still win the title, but only if we win the final 5. Following game, Liverpool needed to win. No, we had a game in hand on them, and we were 2 points clear. 24 minutes in, and we were 2-0 down. Cody Gakpo gives Liverpool an early 2-goal lead. And at this point, I was thinking, I can't bottle this, surely. I can't bottle this. Surely, surely. Not the FA Cup and a top 4 place as well. Surely not. With a 2-point gap in a game in hand as well. Well, from kickoff, after Wan-Bissaka was sent through, an unlikely goal scorer got us back in the game. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, former Red Devil and Eagle, fires in his first ever Leeds United goal, and it could be a significant one. Finds the bottom corner, it's 2-1, but we still needed another. If Liverpool were to win, they'd leapfrog us and go into top 4. We're back into the Europa League places, but Alisson was having a stormer. We'd beaten him through Wan-Bissaka, but he was saving everything else. Amazing stop there, and then from the corner, Doucouré keeps it alive, and Calvin Phillips is denied by the Brazilian as well. Just one of those games where the AI goalkeeper is on absolute flames. We're still down by 1. We needed a leveller to keep Liverpool at bay. Alisson was doing everything he could to keep the Reds in front. And with 15 minutes to go, it's shades of Vincent Kompany versus Leicester. Calvin Phillips, the captain, says, give me this ball. I'm not known for goal scoring, certainly not from this far out. But he takes aim from 22 yards and it's a belter. Top bins, and Calvin Captain Phillips makes it 2-2, and we battle back from 2 goals down to level it. But with 16 minutes to go, sorry, 6 minutes to go, not 16 minutes to go, Domenico Berardi. Talk about your housery celebrations there. Imagine doing that, mate. You would get, seriously, a few teeth knocked out. You do that at Ellen Road. That was ridiculous. Scores the goal that wins it for Liverpool. And our comeback counts for nothing. But I said, lads, once again, heads held high. We're now 7 points behind Man City and Spurs, who are first and second, and 4 behind Chelsea as well. But whilst Liverpool have now got a point clear, lads, back-to-back losses. Don't you dare feel sorry for yourselves and capitulate. Why is that? We've got a game in hand. We win it, we're back in the top 4. Don't forget, destiny's still in our own hands. We've got to return here. We know form is so OP. We know when you start to struggle, your players are stuck in the mud and it's so hard to get out of it. And with the following game being a great West Ham side away in London, taking on David Moyes' team, we needed to bounce back in a big one. And what a start we had. 9 minutes in, Benjamin Sesko said, enough of this. We're not losing thrice. We're getting back in the top 4. Sesko going for that golden boot, gives us the opener. And then 31 minutes in, he's through again. Shrugs off his man Garcia. And what a save by Alphonse Areola. Tips it onto the bar. And we still lead by 1. West Ham needed a leveller to get back in this game. And after Doucouré loses out to his man, Golovin takes aim from 20. Fires past Henderson and makes it 1-1. We're on level terms, and as things stand, we're failing to win for the 3rd game in a row. But once again, the captain takes matters into his own hands right before the hour mark, right after we surrendered our lead. Calvin Phillips gets his 2nd goal in 2, and we restored the lead. But it was so tense, man. It was really tense. And you know me, sometimes the adrenaline can get the better of me. 12 minutes to go, I get a red card with Matt O'Reilly. I was playing a high press. I was trying to catch West Ham out here. I don't know why we surrounded a referee. It's clearly a red card. It was cynical. Tried to intercept Fran Garcia. Took him down 2 feet off the off the ground. Definite red card. Can we hold on? Stoppage time. Down a man, but leading by 1. We had the chance to wrap it. And I missed the target with the final kick of the game. Mason Hull getting for his first goal of the year, firing wide. In the end, thankfully, it did not matter. We held on for the 3 points, despite the late red card from Matt O'Reilly. Leeds, back on track, back in the top 4. Very tense game, that one, I'll be honest here. But we got the job done. But, unfortunately, Liverpool once again played a game extra and won, which meant once again we were back outside the top 4. We're now 7 behind Man City with 3 games to go. We meet them next. We know we're not going to win the title unless we win the final 3 and Man City lose the final 3. Realistically, it's not going to happen. But for the following game, our game in hand on Liverpool, both teams needed a win. Manchester City to keep Chelsea and Spurs at bay. Us to go back in the top 4. A draw would not do, because goal difference would see Liverpool still ahead of us with 2 games to go. So we had to win against the leaders, against the best team in the world. And 18 minutes in, we were so close to the lead. Benjamin Sesko rifles one off the crossbar. All hands on deck for Man City. And Ruben Diaz, the gladiator, clears. It's still 0-0. Tense first half. Tense first 45 minutes. Man City only really got the one chance. But that's all the AI need when you play on ultimate difficulty. With the final kick of the half, Matheus Nunes finds a bit of space after I dragged out Mark Guéhi and fires in to the back of the net. Final kick of the half, Man City in front by a goal. Second half begins with trailing by 1. A loss would be disastrous. We'd be behind Liverpool by a point with 2 games to go. Even a draw would mean Liverpool would still be ahead of us, but at least theoretically we could possibly do it if we score enough goals in our final 2 games to win back-to-back. But really, I felt we needed to win. So when Brendan Aronson, the right from kickoff, made it 1-1, I said, let's keep on going. Pick the ball straight up. We need to win this game. A draw won't do. But when you're playing that style against Manchester City, dragging players forward, playing a high line and a high press, well, they've got the quality and the creativity to punish you. Straight from kickoff, they're back in front. Bustos with the finish at the near post. I was slightly disappointed with Dean, but I knew it was my fault really for leaving him totally unmarked in the middle, dragging way too many players out of position. We needed to find a leveller once again. We were down by a goal for the second time in the game, but once again we get a golden chance. And we take it. Brilliant work from Elise, holding his man off with the ball roll and then rolling it back to Sesko, who levels it. It's 2-2 for the second time in the game. We'd clawed Manchester City back and got back on level terms ourselves. But I knew in a ridiculously open game, with both teams feeling they needed a win and a draw would be a bad result, there was still more twists to come. Right from kickoff, 2-2. Davis finds Phil Foden, holds off Charlie Creswell, rolls it back, and for the second time in the game, Matheus Nunes finds the back of the net. And for the third time in the game, we're behind. I was thinking, are you serious? Are you serious? I've levelled it twice against the amazing Manchester City team, and it's still not enough. From kickoff, needing yet another leveller. Benjamin Sesko with brilliant hold-up finds Brendan Aronson, and what a finish! Slipping to the turf for his brace. It's 3-3. Was there to be another twist with 10 minutes to go? There wasn't. It finishes all square at Ellen Road. And Leeds win just one of the final 4. But you know what? Despite the fact we only managed a point, despite the fact Liverpool would still be clear of us on goal difference, and in the end, after playing again before we do, they now go 3 points clear and extend the goal difference as well, you had to say, that's about as good as I could have done. That was literally as good as I could have done. 2 games to go, with 3 points behind and the worst goal difference record, with 2 points behind Chelsea as well. Our penultimate game of the season with just 1 win in 4 is a trip to St James's, Newcastle United, Eddie Howe side in the North East. And with our final 2 games, knowing, realistically, we had to win back-to-back and get favours as well. We knew destiny was out of our own hands now, and we needed a bit of luck. And simply put, we needed to return to winning ways. 1 win in 4 was not good enough. Yes, to battle back on 3 separate occasions against Man City, give us some credit. But we cannot qualify the Champions League with credit alone. We need wins. So following game, the Magpies had to win. Penultimate game of the season, final away day. And it was one of those games where like one player just turns into an unstoppable machine. Dan James scored our first goal, catching the keeper out at the far post, and then sprints down the left with that electrifying pace, rolls it across in the middle, and Sesko gets another. It's 2-0 Leeds. We double our advantage, and 37 minutes in, at this point I was kind of thinking like Liverpool against Crystal Palace like 10 years ago. All those years ago when they were going for the title. And they needed to get more goals, even though the win was the first priority. I was just going at Newcastle as quickly as I could. Raspadori got a straight red card in the first half as well. So we had a man advantage, and with a goal different swing, we needed several more to catch Liverpool. But I thought, we just got to keep going. We just got to keep going. We're surely going to see the game out now, leading by 2 to man advantage. We need more goals here. Dan James, again, having an absolute storm and gets his second of the game to make it 3-0 with 19 minutes on the clock. I thought, really, we could have got a couple of more. In the end, we had to settle for a 3-0 win. What does that mean? Well, final game of the season, and it all comes down to this. 3 teams go for the title on the final day, but all Man City needed to do was keep Chelsea at bay, who they would meet on the final day, and they'd be champions. As for us, we knew realistically catching Chelsea and Spurs was unlikely, but Liverpool were hosting Arsenal. They had nothing to play for, but it meant on the final day, if we were to win and Liverpool failed to match our result, we would be champions. So I called Mikel Arteta up on the Saturday night and I said there'll be a brown envelope coming your way at the final whistle, direct from Ellen Road, if you can hold Liverpool. You don't need to win, just hold them, because I know we're going to beat Watford on the final day. We're not going to bottle it on the final day. We'll surely beat the Hornets, who are already relegated. You do me a favour, and we're brothers in arms, Mikel. So heading into the game, with Sesko and Haaland battling for the golden boot, 8 minutes in, I went straight at the Hornets like a bee exterminator, or a Hornet exterminator, I guess, right from the first whistle, and we won ourselves a penalty. Sesko 1-on-1, rounds the keeper, Okoye trips him up, gives himself a chance to redeem himself from 12 yards, but a chance for Sesko to notch up goal number 30 and give us the lead in the game where we had to win on the final day to qualify for the Champions League. Dan James took the ball, but I said give it Benjamin. I love you, Dan, but Sesko's my main guy. He steps up 12 yards and with nerves of steel drills it in, top bins. Goal number 30. For our new striker this year, Benjamin Sesko. But all he was worried about was could Arsenal hold Liverpool. At the break, Chelsea were winning, shock horror, but as Spurs were winning too, Mikel Arteta was doing his job for me. Liverpool were tied at 0-0. As things stand, we were leapfrogging Klopp's side and going top 4. But we needed to see the game out ourselves first. Forget what's going on at Anfield. See the game out yourself first. And worry about favours afterwards. 15 minutes to go. We're leading by 1. O'Reilly finds Doucouré and the ex-Palace boys link up for the second and the dagger. Michael Olise makes it 2. Leeds double the advantage. It's game over at Ellen Road. Everyone had their phones on BBC Sport with the live score updates and Radio 5 live commentary. The final whistle blown at Ellen Road, but they were still playing in Anfield. We were celebrating. We'd done our job, but was it in vain? 2-0 final score. We head down the dressing room, applauding our fans. We pop on final score. We await the news at Anfield, where Arsenal beat Liverpool 2-1. I was absolutely ballistic at this point. The Gunners go to Liverpool with nothing to play for and win. Manchester City, despite losing to Chelsea on the final day, still held off them and Spurs due to the goal difference swing as the Blues and Chelsea both won. But after our win against Watford, we needed a favour, and Mikel Arteta said, Docs, I've got you, bro. I've got you. If Liverpool would have won, we would have lost out on goal difference. In the end, even a draw would have been enough had Arsenal held Liverpool. Instead, they found a winner late on. Final score at Anfield 2-1. Leeds United finished 4th. Look at the title race. 5 points separating 5 teams, 2 points separating 4. We had the best defensive record in the division, but most crucially, a win on the final day as Forest, Watford and Luton go down. See Sesko hold off Haaland to win the golden boot, although Erling, as you'll see, would win the assist title. Fair play, adding assists to his game as well this year. Winning the assist title, holding off Olise, Sesko and O'Reilly on the final day. As Dean Henderson wins the Golden Glove, Leeds United are going to the Champions League. We put out the bag on the final day. I actually thought that loss to Liverpool in the drawing against Man City. After that, I thought we bottled it. I thought it was done. As Brighton and Everton, I always say take these tales with a pinch of salt, but Brighton and Everton theoretically should be back in the Premier League, with the playoffs being Crystal Palace, Brentford, West Ham and Preston North End as well. Man City win the Carabao Cup, so they win themselves a domestic cup double this year, beating Manchester United in the final. We, of course, knocked out in the semis the FA Cup to the eventual runners-up Arsenal. Manchester United winning the final on penalties. Eintracht Frankfurt won the Europa Conference League, beating KAA Ghent on penalties there. The Europa League final was Leverkusen versus Porto. And Bayer Leverkusen were runners-up to Porto in the Europa League final. And as for the Champions League, well, really interesting one here. Man City knocked out by the Gunners on penalties in the NNL Clasico final, which was won by Real Madrid. We're in it ourselves next year. Can we go all the way? I highly doubt it, but we've pulled off the improbable, and despite the heartbreak at Wembley, losing that FA Cup semi to Arsenal in extra time, we've redeemed ourselves. Leeds United are back in the big time. We finish in the top 4. We're going in to the Champions League. Guys, thanks for watching the season finale. I really hope you enjoyed it. I had a blast making this episode. The games were thrilling. Really enjoyed doing the commentary. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like. So if you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you at the start of season 4 in the very next episode, where we'll be making tons of new signings, I'm sure, as Leeds United go into the Champions League. Bring on the new season.